The fact that we live in a nation which was founded on the principle that all men are created equal, and yet men are still arguing over whether the color of a man's skin determines the content of his character. The Klan will be marching around here this afternoon somewhere, I understand. Sick with racism. Our nation is sick with militarism. Any nation that spends some 70 or 80 billion dollars on military pursuits is headed toward its spiritual doom. And today we are fighting an evil, unjust war in Vietnam. And our leaders have neither the courage or the maturity to admit that we made a mistake.
The burning of the flag, the communist flag, they burn ours in the streets of America. And the elements today that parade our streets, the bearded, trash, tennis shoe wearing, sandal wearing pinkos that are parading American streets. Listen, by the way, a beatnik was asked one day, why do you wear sandals? Why do you have your long flowing hair? You know what his reply was? He said, why, did you know that I am a Jesus follower? Jesus had long hair. Jesus wore sandals. But Jesus did not originate in the mind of satanic origin. All of that kind of confusion and conglomeration came from the very pit of hell. Organization to be branded as an extremist. You don't have to be associated with it in any way, shape, form, or fashion to be labeled as an anti-Semitic or a goofball or somebody that's trying to disturb the public. All you've got to do to get any kind of criticism and ridicule in America today is stand up for God and country, and you'll be belittled, intimidated, harassed, and anything that can be thrown at you to try to stop you, the elements will be aimed in your direction. We have a fight to do, and we could do this a lot better. We could be most effective if we could get the forces, the legal forces, behind us. But it is strange to note that all of these elements of authority have been thrown in our way to try to stop the Klan activity in America.
It's time for President Johnson, Mr. Rusk, and all of the others around Washington to admit that we made a terrible mistake in Vietnam, one of the greatest mistakes ever made in history. And the longer we refuse to admit that, the more this nation is going to descend to depths of destruction. Now, I don't mind saying it. A lot of people are afraid to say it. But I don't mind saying it. You see, somebody said to me the other night, don't you think, Dr. King, you are going to have to start speaking more in terms of the administration's policy? Because since you started talking against the war in Vietnam, it's hurt the budget of your organization, and people who once respected you don't respect you anymore. And I had to look over and say, sir, I'm sorry, but you don't know me. God used Alabama to bring some of the most creative advances for the black man in the United States of America. Bus boycott of 1955 and 6. Then you remember the freedom rides came to that climax right here in Alabama, right here in Montgomery. The most comprehensive civil rights bill that we've ever gotten came as a result of the Birmingham movement in 1963. And then the voting rights bill came as a result of the Selma movement in 1965. And the Pattersons and the Wallaces have presided over more integration than any governors in the United States.
We're burning this to show our feelings toward the communists. We have nothing for them, and America should take all actions necessary to try to safeguard this country against any kind of communist espionage and conspiracy. The conspiracy has been denied by our leaders. They say there is no conspiracy, but we have evidence today, and any simple-minded, fair-thinking American person knows that there is a conspiracy to overthrow the government of the United States of America. The United Klans of America stand in support of America, its principles, and its great Constitution. We stand for the preservation of constitutional right and liberty. Thank you.